Meeting is hereby called to order. Tonight's City Council meeting, February 4th, 2025. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilman Lewis, Councilman Stanga,
Present.
Councilman Roberts.
Here.
Councilman Inman,
Here.
Councilman Burrell,
Here.
Councilman Botsford,
Here.
Councilman Barrett.
Here. If I can get you to rise and have a brief moment of silence. And would Michael Norman please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you, sir. We will begin with Michael Norman being an appearer on behalf of the Covington Masonic Lodge. Councilman Roberts.
Yeah, I'm not going to say much because he's going to tell you everything about it, but it has to do with food and has to do with gumbo. So it's
I'm in.
Good. So there we go. Michael, it's all yours.
Good evening. Thank you for your time. I appeared previously before you to tell you about the Masonic Learning Center's tutoring program for children with dyslexia. As I mentioned before, this program's totally free for the children and their families that participate, and it has a huge impact on these children's lives. Of course, it takes money to put it on. So every year, Covington Lodge holds a gumbo cook-off to raise money to support the program locally. This year, we anticipate about 15 teams that'll be putting forth their finest gumbo. The event is open to the public. For a mere $10, you get all the gumbo you could eat till you're just overflowing with it. It's a grand event. We always have a good time. The public is invited to attend, and they're urged to bring their families. And I personally wish to invite each one of you to come and invite your families. And I hope to see every one of you there. Any questions?
I have one. Do you have all the teams you need already, or is there still opportunity to put a team
We
in?
can still have teams. All they have to do is contact me, which my information's on the
and I'll say this
on the flyer.
out loud just because we're on film. So anybody at home, it's 985-807-4447. Ask for Mr. Mike, and he can get you in there.
That's it. Thank you. Oh, March 8th.
March 8th.
March 8th. Look,
Yes.
I've already sent this information out to people, and they plan on attending. As soon as I got this tonight, I screenshot it. So there's some people who are definitely interested. We're blessed to have you doing this in our community. Thank you for all that you do.
Great
you.
cause and great presentation when you came before us. And so just to reiterate, the Masonic Learning Center Dyslexia Tutoring Program, this is what it benefits, correct?
Correct. In our local area, St. Tammany Parish.
Excellent. I encourage everyone to go, and someone who's had a few bowls of gumbo before, I look forward to going.
Okay. Thank y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, under the consent calendar, we have our regular meeting minutes of January 14th, 2025, an introduction of item number 2025-02-01, an ordinance of the City of Covington enlarging the boundaries, describing the property to be annexed and added thereto as Parcel B, Section 38, Township 7 South, Range 11 East, St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana, and also classifying this property as zoning district ML, which is light industrial, and CR regional commercial under the zoning laws of the City of Covington. We also have introduction of item number 2025-02-02, an ordinance of the City of Covington authorizing the mayor to sell on behalf of the City of Covington a portion of the West 12th Avenue right-of-way. That is also in the City of Covington, St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana. Introduction of item number 2025-02-03, an ordinance of the City of Covington declaring surplus equipment owned by the City of Covington. I need a motion to accept.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Stanga,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
Councilman Inman,
Yes.
Councilman Burrell,
Yes.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Barrett.
Yes. Under regular agenda unfinished business, we'll be moving on to public hearing and action on item number 2025-01-01, an ordinance of the City of Covington to amend the 2025 operating and capital budget. Councilman Roberts.
Yes, this is a amendment, just like we normally do. You'll see that there's a list of categories here, the things that's being amended, going towards the CID building, the Columbia roundabouts, moving, the Ozone Songwriting Festival, we just had a discussion about, MLK Creek Engineering, PD equipment, and fire and facility, and we do have representatives here if y'all have any questions about this. But it's a amendment of $5,000 from the general fund and GMA fund of $550,000. And if there's anything else,
Yeah, so I want to point out that the top item, the $400,000, that's out of the bond issuance funds. So we basically are pulling $400,000 toward the CID building construction, and we are going to, once we go into bid for the Columbia roundabouts, we are going to supplement where needed with GMA funds, which we have available. And then the two items at the bottom are state supplemental funds.
Any public comment? Seeing none, is there any further council comment? I need a motion to close the public hearing.
motion.
I need a second.
Second?
I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
I will second. Roll call, please.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
Councilman Inman,
Yes.
Councilman Burrell,
Yes.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Barrett,
Yes.
Councilman Stanga.
Yes.
Under new business, items to be voted on, resolution number 2025-02, a resolution of the Covington City Council providing consent for the assignment of certain franchise rights and obligations from Reliant Energy Intex, a division of Reliant Energy Resources Corp., NKA Centerpoint Energy Resources, to Delta Utilities. Councilman Botsford.
Yeah, this is just Delta Utilities bought Centerpoint Energy. This is very common, so by them changing their name and being the new owners, we're going to allow for the franchise rights.
Straightforward. Administration?
That's correct. There's an existing franchise agreement that's about 20 years old, and they're just transferring it to the new owner. It's a very small franchise with a very small service area on Claiborne Hill. It only generates about $5,000 a year in franchise fees. But this franchise, just by happenstance, is going to expire in the summer of 2025. So we will be getting with the Drake people to renegotiate and adopt an ordinance sometime this summer to enact a new franchise. But we have no problem whatsoever with the assignment.
Good information to have. Any public comment? Any further council comment? I need a motion to accept.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Inman,
Yes.
Councilman Burrell,
Yes.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Barrett,
Yes.
Councilman Stanga,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts.
Yes.
Moving on to resolution number 2025-03, a resolution of the Covington City Council confirming the mayoral appointment of Lisa Condrey Ward to the Covington Historic District Commission for an additional term of 4 years. I think Ms. Ward has done a good job on the Historic District Commission. I see no reason she is willing to serve, which is always a good thing. And I therefore would like her to be reconfirmed or confirmed, depending on how you look at it. Any public comment? Any council comment? Hearing none, I need a motion to accept.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second?
Roll call, please.
Councilman Burrell,
Yes.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Barrett,
Yes.
Councilman Stanga,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
Councilman Inman.
Yes.
Moving on, resolution number 2025-03, a resolution of the Covington City Council authorizing the mayor of the city of Covington to enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement with Children's Advocacy Center, Hope House, for the use of a portion of Lot 8, Square 2702, Division of New Covington, for parking. I am the sponsor. I would just give a brief background that Hope House in Covington has purchased a new property adjacent to their existing facility, that's on 28th Avenue, with the intention of constructing a new building that will serve the growing needs of the organization. At present, that property is only a partial lot, with the remainder of the original lot owned by the city of Covington and bordering on Dutch Island. With this request, the hope is that the Hope House and the city of Covington can enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement. I'm in wholehearted support. I think there's not a single person on this North Shore or anywhere that hadn't heard about the good deeds of Hope House that would not be in support of this. So the city property can be utilized for law enforcement parking only. All cost and clearing of installing gravel or concrete paving will be borne by Hope House. We have with us here Thomas Mitchell, I believe. And Thomas, good to see you. No need to introduce yourself because you do such a good job in the community, but under the law, would you please introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. My name is Thomas Mitchell. I'm the Executive Director of Hope House.
So tell us a little bit, did I basically cover, or you got some?
No, Chairman Barrett, you covered the majority of our plea, and we're very grateful and appreciative to the council for their consideration. Our cases have increased significantly within the 22nd Judicial District, and this expansion is not a new building, brand new. It's an extension of our current space so that we're able to facilitate dual forensic interviewing. So this week we have 22 forensic interviewing appointments, and each one of those appointments represents a criminal investigation involving a crime committed against a child, an alleged crime, including, I think, 3 appointments from Covington PD. So this space right now, like if the FBI calls us tomorrow and says, hey, we're bringing a child there tomorrow at 4 p.m., we don't actually have the space for that child right now. So this space, this extension, approximately a 2,000 square foot building, will allow us that opportunity, and then the FBI, of course, would be able to park right in the back in that western section, or Covington PD, would be able to utilize that space. So.
And we recognize you have a reciprocal relationship with many law enforcement agencies. So this is, I don't know how else to say it, you perform an invaluable service to the community, and I'm happy to sponsor it and wholeheartedly ask my council to authorize it and the mayor to quickly do a cooperative endeavor agreement.
Well, thank you so much. We consider ourselves privileged to have such community support. So many of you on the council and the mayor have just really invested in our cause, and it's our duty to be great stewards of your support, such as Porch Fest, and we have the Quackafalaya coming up April the 12th that we're partnered with Covington Rotary, so we deeply, deeply appreciate your investment in our cause.
Thank you. Happy to help. Council comments?
Yeah, one thing, if you could share with them what you shared at the last CBA meeting, the statistics of how many cases we had last year. I think that's.
We had 500.
And when you do that, would you also touch on how important the post-counseling is, and that how the lives are changed of each child that comes through that?
Certainly. Yeah, so my first year at the Hope House was 2017, and we had 287 forensic interviews facilitated, criminal investigations facilitated out of Hope House in conjunction with law enforcement. Last year, in 31 years, we had never had more children walk through our doors at 525 forensic interviews facilitated in the year 2024. So that was the highest, and you can see the exponential growth just from 2017 to 2024. What the Mayor Mark alluded to is that each one of those children we're going to triage, and we're going to identify their level of severity of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and then we're able to get them with board-certified trauma therapists. And everything at Hope House is free of charge. Like literally right now, I just left at 5:45, and our waiting room is just full of kids that are healing and growing beyond their justice. You know, the justice is what happens 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, and at the courthouse and collecting that evidence. But these are kids that are just becoming kids again, and able to graduate and go and just be kids, worry about kid stuff, right? Like worry about if their mom or dad is going to get them that bike for Christmas, or if Johnny's going to ask her to the dance, or all that kid stuff, rather than the stuff that they were worried about. So we greatly appreciate everything. The Hope House is really belongs to the community. It's not our boards or Thomas or whoever. It's really y'all's Hope House, so I appreciate everything.
Thank you, sir. I need a motion to accept.
So moved.
I need a second.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman Botsford,
Yes.
Councilman Barrett,
Yes.
Councilman Stanga,
Yes.
Councilman Roberts,
Yes.
Councilman Inman,
Yes.
Councilman Burrell.
Yes.
All right, we will move on to council, district, and committee reports. District A, Councilman Lewis is feeling under the weather. We wish him the best and a speedy recovery. We will move on to District B, Councilman Stango.
Thank you. So first off, I know that we'll probably hear this again, but thanks to the city and the streets, the police, the fire for the snow event. I think it was an incredible job. There were no incidents that I was aware of. Everybody seemed to cooperate, and we prepared well, we endured well, and I think it was.
Councilman, if I might add, we had 2 consecutive days with no automobile accidents. And that never happens. That never happens. So everyone really did, stay home and kind of relaxed. And I think we kind of needed that little bit of break time. I think it worked out well. But it was really interesting to get the end of shift reports and there not be a car accident.
So that's great, and thanks for all the city of Covington people who did shelter in place or stay in place during the storm. I know it was a long week for them. So thanks for that. Up in District B, we're still working on the drainage ditch that we installed behind the Piney Woods. I understand that we did a survey of the outflow, which did not reveal any culprits on why the ditch is not drained completely. We're going to go back and do another survey of the ditch itself, the grade, and we're working with the parish on that, so that's still going forward. I appreciate Callie and Jim for going out and staying on top of that and keeping us well informed in that area. I also see that the lift station for Oak Alley subdivision upgrade is moving forward, so that's exciting. That should be in place, I think, by the end of this spring, maybe the end of May is the timing on that. But, it's good. We're investing in our infrastructure. We're addressing things on the front end before it becomes a problem, so kudos for that, and thanks for getting that moving forward. And then finally, can you give us a status? I mentioned in the last meeting we had a crashed fire truck, and what we're doing to fill in that and where we are.
Yes, so, we're borrowing a truck from another department for a reserve. We've done the paperwork and everything for that. That actually will help, even without a crash truck, will help our rating for the fire department. The truck was made by Pierce, and the company that sold this to us is Siddons Martin, and they're based out of Texas. They flew someone down, and they did an inspection of the truck to give us an estimate. The insurance adjuster came and did the same inspection, and they're relatively close with their estimate. The truck they hired a company to come in and load up the truck on a lowboy, and they traveled it all the way to Texas, just right outside of Dallas. It got delayed because of the snow, but it is in Dallas, and they're tearing it apart right now to make sure that their estimate is close, because there's things that are hidden, behind, and make sure all the damage. But other than that, we don't have an update yet of the final thing, because they're still tearing it apart.
Okay. But we're borrowing equipment from another jurisdiction.
We did.
Determine our
Madisonville
rating.
Fire Department is actually the department that is helping us out. Their truck is sitting in our station right now. So we have a reserve truck that we personally, the city has a reserve truck that took the place of the truck that got in a wreck, and they're actually loaning us a truck for like a third engine if we need it.
And that's under a mutual aid agreement that we have with them.
Okay, great. Well,
Okay, Councilman Roberts, District C.
Thank you, sir. So, a couple of things, I guess the one thing I have that I'll get redundant on, just slow down. District C, River Forest, Oak Alley, Barclay Park, 21, just slow down. There's a lot of speeding, a lot of running stop signs I hear from the neighbors, and I know Chief does a great job putting people out there, but they can't be everywhere all the time. So, I'm just urging you guys to slow down. I don't want a buffer, I don't need a gray area. If they're speeding, write them a ticket, it's done, and maybe they learn after that. We won't meet again until Mardi Gras, so I'm gonna ask everyone to be safe, but I also want to commend Councilman Botsford for saying what he said last meeting. If you see something, say something. You have no clue how quick you can protect somebody's life because of stupidity. So don't be the person that blows it off and walks away. If you see something that's odd and strange and shouldn't be there, say something about it, and let's make sure we address it. Find the right people to address it for you if need be, but let's do that. And then I'll be on the corner of Jefferson and 15th on Mardi Gras Day doing a kids' costume contest, so if you got kids, come out that morning, and let's have a little fun, and laser day ball on Day.
My man. All right, District D, Councilman Inman.
Yeah, I need to reiterate what Councilman Roberts was just saying in terms of self-policing. Slow down. There are some speed bumps going out. I know that the administration has been working to place those. And look, ideally, we'll do our self-policing and we won't need those. But nonetheless, in areas where there is a need, there is, how can I say this? Well, they are looking to install those in the event that that need actually, comes to fruition. Let's see, police and fire. Look, our police department has been doing an excellent job. However, I do want to make note, if you are a resident, again, talking about self-policing, make sure your car's locked at night. Don't make it easy on a criminal. We had some folks in District D who just had their cars, and I would like to say broken into, but the reality is they were just simply opened. So make life difficult on anyone who has, criminal acts in mind. In terms of our fire department, they also went out during the storm, during the snow event, and were monitoring some people who were of age. We'll just say that they were maturing gracefully, and they were checking on them and making sure that, they were safe. Public Works, let's just say the snow prep, as was mentioned earlier, excellent. We were very intelligent in terms of being smart and not getting out on the streets, making matters worse, if you will. The other thing I'd like to mention with Public Works is, look, we're going to have a lot of preparatory stuff for Mardi Gras. They put a lot of work in on the front end, and then there's a lot of work in cleaning up after the fact. So, assist them as best you can and not making a mess, and allow them to do their job effectively, because they do a diligent job and deserve credit for that. The local library, Covington branch, February 20th, they're going to be doing a kids Mardi Gras party, 5 to 7 p.m., doing crafts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So if you are interested in bringing your child to the library to enjoy that, please by all means do so. Have a safe parade season, because it is, look, January 6th is behind us, King's Day is behind us, we've been eating some king cake. So, yeah, we're going to have some parades all throughout the entire area, and then certainly we'll have our parades here in Covington. Last but not least, and this is a little bit different, but this is February 18th, we have our BOA and P&Z meetings coming up in reference to a proposal for a garage that's an extension of the hospital. The public should be there by all. If you could be there, be there. They're going to do a presentation. Then you can get your thoughts together. You can ask questions potentially, at least that I'm aware of. And if not, let's say something comes to mind after the fact, email one of your councilmen up here, and we'll get that information to the hospital so you can get a response to your question. So, but that's about it. Stay safe, be smart, and yeah, we'll see you. We'll see you after we pass a good time for Mardi Gras.
Councilman Burrell, District E.
Thank you. I'll make it a three-peat. Everyone just mind your speed. It's It's all we can do.
Slow your roll.
Slow your roll. I love the campaign. And I've noticed, it looks like I've noticed an increased presence in District E, particularly around school time. So be careful out there and be cognizant of what you're doing. A couple of events and some projects to mention. Old Covington Neighborhood Association, the next meeting is this Monday, the 10th at 6:30 at Christ Episcopal. Projects, the Columbia Street Landing, we've been talking about that one for a while. Engineering is imminent, and we'll be moving forward with that one hopefully very, very soon. Looking forward to that. The boat launch at 4th Street Landing there. Heavy equipment on site, big sheet piles on site. Excited for that project to get rolling and be in place for the summer. I think that's going to be fantastic and enjoyed by many. And again, to repeat my fellow councilmen, thank you to all the first responders, all of the city employees and everything. You all do a great job and help make our lives easier. So thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Councilman at Large, John Boxwood.
All right, just like I said, February 22nd, just to put that out there, is the Crew of Olympia that night. March 3rd is going to be our Lundi Gras. It's going to take place at the Bogafly boat launch, where we're going to second line this to the Southern Hotel. And of course, March 4th is Mardi Gras Day. To reiterate what everybody says, they always say slow down, but the other thing is get off your phone. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've seen people roll over curbs all over the place. I've seen accidents happen, and it's most of the time, even that tragic one that happened on Lee Road, the lady was distracted driving and hit the guy with the garbage truck, and unfortunately he passed away. You know, so distracted driving, let's go along with that as well. Want to remind everybody to shop local. Wednesdays is our farmers market over here at the Trailhead, and on Saturdays it's right here behind the council chambers in the empty lot right here. Lots of good stuff there. For the food bank, the total households for the month of January was 1,090. Total boxes is 1,381. Average households per day was 91. Average boxes per day is 115. So United Way is a noteworthy event. United Way gave a grant out to the North Shore Food Bank. Out of 65, they're one of 65 recipients. So out of the 575 applicants across 10 parishes, they were selected. So that's great that's going to happen for them. And that'll help fund and support the Kids Weekend program. As you know, a lot of kids go home on the weekends and don't have a meal. The generous grant will help the North Shore Food Bank continue to provide nutritious meals to children facing food insecurities in our country. February is National Canned Food Month. You know, who would have thought vegetables were cool enough to have their own month? But they do. And you know, people a lot of times have tough choices. So, you know, do food drives. They're having like a Mardi Gras food drive. They have like bags and containers that you can go by and pick up from them and put in a local business. So, or if you want to do one in your neighborhood, please do so. Go out there. The containers are free. The most needed items for January are canned spinach, canned carrots, canned chicken, grits, and instant potatoes. That's it.
All right. The next city council meeting will be on the second Tuesday due to Mardi Gras, so please make a note, Tuesday, March 11th, beginning at 6 p.m. Covington Bar Association will meet tomorrow. If you own a business locally or work for a business locally, I encourage you to join Covington Bar
It's the
Association.
business association, not bar association.
Oh, what did I say?
You said the Covington Bar Association.
It's been a long day, man. I had
But
gumbo
we-
and instant
and now-
potatoes over here,
We
you know?
gotta embarrass her. You were referring to the Lawyer Bar Association, correct? Not
After
the other
the
bar
Covington Business Association, there will be, no, never mind. Well, and also visit our local bars and restaurants, you know? As our councilman said, shop local.
That's it.
So, now that I've done that, let's just move on to administration, you know? Hopefully there's some good news in here.
I'm going to pick up on Mardi Gras and remind everybody that in the last couple of years, we've made some adjustments on Jefferson Avenue. The Public Works has done a phenomenal job of limestoning those road shoulders. If you ride down them, they just look gorgeous. They're going to bring in barricades in every other block or so for half a block. We block it off so that only pedestrians can be in that area. So you can't hog up the entire road with your RV, your trailers, and your pop-up tents. Also important is that the RVs, the trucks, the back of the pickup trucks and all that need to be 8 feet off the edge of the road. So the idea of the person with the 40-foot RV parking right up against and taking a 40-foot section of the block is not a choice anymore. So I just want to remind everybody, if they're getting out there early with their pop-up tents and all that, they need to be 8 feet off so that our regular pedestrians can move safely up and down the street without being in the road. I'd also like to do congratulations to Chief Farrell and the Covington Police Department. Some incredible investigation work that they have done to arrest the alleged armed robber of our little Circle K. Like so many of the big-time arrests they do here recently or in the last year or so, again, it's somebody from out of town. You know, they think they can come into Covington, and they didn't get the memo that if you come into Covington and you commit a crime, they're going to track you down wherever you are and arrest you, and they've been really, really good at that. So I wanted to do particularly a shout-out to the investigations unit that put that together, and the fact that they worked with the Slidell Crime Lab, the St. Tammany Parish Sheriff's Office Crime Lab, the City of Mandeville's Police Department. Was there somebody else? And probation and parole. So good job by them. February 13th, on-stage performance at the Furman Auditorium is Lynn Tresfegzer, and she is a ventriloquist. And as I often say, this is not your children's ventriloquist. She has been voted the funniest person on college campuses previously. She does, she puts words in your mouth. And she convinces the audience that I've been a victim of this before, so she convinces the audience that you're actually saying the words, and you're just looking there going, I didn't say that, but they believe. She's really funny, so if you can, try to make that show. Regarding the speeding and throughout the city, which when I was campaigning several years ago, most often repeated complaint, and here we are several years later, and it's still the most often repeated complaint that we get. At some point, it requires enforcement. The Covington PD wrote over 2,000 citations last year. We're enforcing. Wrote over 2,000. And I don't know what it's going to take for people to get the message. But they continue to do that, and at a pretty good clip. So I just thought it was important for the community to know that, that enforcement is, we're not just putting out little speed bumps or little sticks in the road, but there's also enforcement involved there too. A couple of little infrastructure updates, small water meters replacements. This is something that's been going on for a few years now. Interesting to me, water meters only last about 10 years, and then they have to be replaced. And so we just completed a project of replacing over 4,000 water meters in the city of Covington, and that project is now wrapping up. So that's good for us. Also, what has wrapped up is there's a lift station right near the pavilion at Bogaflaya Park, and that was substandard, so we've replaced that. So we've just completed construction on that. If you've been anywhere around North Taylor Street, you've seen some incredible work going on, reminding everybody that pipe bursting is when a device with a large drill bit goes through the existing sewer main and destroys it. And then you'll see these huge, long pipes laid out along the side of the block. Those are pulled through the hole, and it completely replaces the sewer main. Reminding everybody that the sewer main under North Taylor is made out of concrete. The methane gas produced by wastewater erodes the concrete, and so over a 40 or 50-year period, that sewer main was collapsing, and we had holes falling into North Taylor. So, again, this falls under those projects that we didn't ask for. You know, this is not necessarily where we wanted to spend $350,000, $400,000, but sometimes those are the things we're called to do. We are beginning to start the smoke testing and video for the sewer repair and the ozone, and hope to be getting, we're on the verge of a notice to proceed to get that kicked off. And that's going to be a $3 million project in resurfacing the sewer lines in the ozone area,
Funded by COVID funds, ARPA money.
funded by ARPA. ARPA being the American Rescue Plan Action, or something like that. Close enough, close enough. And that's what I got.
Perfect. Anything else? Council comment, one last shot, still after Mardi Gras? Thank you.